It's the W.E.S.T podcast, wrestling, entertainment, sports, and travel. And now here's your host, Ots.
All right, what up, what up? It's a new Saturday, a new episode of the W.E.S.T podcast. And I am your host, of course, Mott's. Conspicuous by his absence is your co-host, Ronnie Royal. He's doing his thing in California. I think he had to do a little shooting today. Like I told y'all, he's an actor and an aspiring writer. He's working on a couple projects, so we support him in everything he's doing. And we are actually on not just Survivor Series season, we're actually on Survivor Series day, where it will be the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline in War Games Survivor Series today. And I just want to take a minute to say, hey, this may not be the Survivor Series War Games match that we wanted, but it's the Survivor Series War Games match that makes sense. And what I mean by that is it's going to be Solo Sikoa. And don't forget, we got from New Japan Pro Wrestling, we got the Gorillas of Destiny. We got Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, the Sons of Haku, founding members of the Bullet Club. And then you got Jacob Fatu, the werewolf, from independent wrestling companies or independent wrestling promotions, like we wanted. And Bronson Reed, okay, I get it. You may not be thinking Bronson Reed, but I think Bronson Reed is the guy. I like what they did. They used what they had, and I think it's Bronson Reed's time to be featured in a main event. So I'm happy that Bronson Reed got added on as the fifth man to the new bloodline. Then you go, of course, to the OG bloodline. It's going to be your boy Roman Reigns, the OG original tribal chief. You got main event Jey Uso. You got Jimmy, his brother Uso. And then you got Sami Zayn. And surprise fifth member CM Punk, but not so surprised fifth member CM Punk. Because if you remember way back when, Roman Reigns was actually brought in to protect CM Punk. If you don't remember, the Shield was Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley. Three future wrestling superstars, no doubt 3 wrestling Hall of Famers. So Paul Heyman brought in Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose, or Jon Moxley, to actually protect CM Punk from, I believe it was Mr. Feed Me More at the time. And also from Brock Lesnar. I think they helped him face Brock Lesnar. And so that was the start of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose's career, pretty much, was Paul Heyman. So there's a big thank you probably from Roman Reigns to Paul Heyman coming. So, and we also want to keep announcing the t-shirt contest. So we're going to keep it going. So anybody that subscribes to the YouTube channel then goes to the W.E.S.T podcast Instagram page and then comments, subscribed, then they're going to get, the first one's going to get a t-shirt, and then everybody else is going to get entered into a drawing. So first one, go to the YouTube channel, the W.E.S.T YouTube channel, subscribe. Then go to the W.E.S.T podcast Instagram and comment subscribed. First one's going to get a t-shirt. Everyone that does that thereafter will be entered into a drawing for another t-shirt. So let's get into the big news of the week.
The big story of the week was this.
Okay, the Lucha Brothers on AEW, apparently they were expected to go to WWE pretty soon, or have already been there, but didn't quite happen that way. So apparently they're still under contract with AEW. Penta El Zero was supposed to be released from his contract sometime this week, and his brother Ray Phoenix is actually into an AEW contract well into 2025. But rumor has it that AEW feels that the Lucha Brothers want to jump to WWE, so they've done what they call an injury extension. So, in other words, if a wrestler is ever injured for real and has to take time off and they're under contract, they can add, or the promotion that they're working for or that they're under contract to can add time equal to the injury onto the end of their contract. So it looks like Rey Fenix may not get out of his contract anytime soon. It looks like we just may have a longer wait for Penta El Zero to get out of his contract. But that sounds like longer than a week. But on the W.E.S.T podcast, we always want to know who is living their best week. And you know what we do? We go through the shows Monday or Saturday through Saturday because wrestling's on every day. So we want to see who's living their best week. And what we do is we just give you the tail end, everything, just what you need to know. The very end of the show, the main event, we give you what you need to know. And we tell you who's living their best week. So starting off on Collision. Collision, really there was no Collision because this past week it was Full Gear. And Full Gear was a crazy pay-per-view. It was almost like a mini WrestleMania. Every match had a story. Every match had stakes on the line, even if there was no title. Every match, throughout the match, told a vivid story. You need to go back and watch Full Gear. It lived up to the hype. So the main event for Full Gear was Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Heavyweight title. And this one kind of got interesting because in the end of a bloody match, Jon Moxley finally defeated formerly Dean Ambrose, defeated Orange Cassidy, and almost didn't leave with the AEW belt because Christian had Hangman Page helping him because they're now cool. So Hangman Page kind of came in and wanted to help Christian cash in and get a shot at the AEW. No, actually get the AEW World Championship because Christian has like a Money in the Bank contract where he can challenge for the World Championship anytime he wants. And so if he had cashed in and pinned Jon Moxley, he would have become AEW champion instantly. But that didn't happen because Switchblade Jay White, the Catalyst, came down and interrupted that. He and Hangman had a great match earlier in the night. So it looks like them two and Christian and Jon Moxley are going to be fighting for the AEW championship. Then we move past Tuesday. We're not going to do NXT yet. I mean, we're actually going to move to Monday. My bad, because Monday is before Tuesday. But in a quick little match, you had a Judgment Day defeating the War Raiders, defending their titles. My boy Finn Balor, aka Prince Devitt, and JD McDonough defended their WWE Tag Team Championships versus the Viking, or the War Raiders now. And of course, Judgment Day had to interfere. Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, they all had to interfere and take part in that. So now Tuesday, like I said, we're skipping NXT and we're going straight to Dynamite. And so Dynamite, Brody King, they're going through their Continental Classic title match, or their Continental Classic title season right now. So Brody King had a tournament match versus Darby Allin, and they renewed their old rivalry, Big Brody King versus Little Darby Allin. And it looks like Brody King kind of squashed Darby Allin and was about to leave when Claudio Castagnoli of the Death Riders, Jon Moxley's crew, came to probably try and end Darby Allin. And Brody King came back out because there is sort of a camaraderie, sort of a thing between Darby Allin and Brody King. Brody King protected Little Darby Allin from the Death Riders and Claudio Castagnoli. So that was the end of Wednesday's Dynamite. And then on Thursday's Impact, it was a squash show. It was just the two hosts, the two hosts just reminiscing on Thanksgiving. Nothing special there. Rampage is actually on tonight, so we won't have time to review Rampage. So we go straight to Friday night, and Friday night SmackDown. It was a match for the main event. Who would have the man advantage at War Games? It was main event Jey Uso versus the New Bloodlines Jacob Fatu. And surprisingly, well, I won't say surprisingly, but Jacob Fatu beat main event Jey Uso clean. No interference, no rundowns, no extra activity. But it was a great match, though. You got to go back and watch it because Jacob Fatu in the ring is crazy good. So I recommend you go back and watch that. And I recommend you come back because we're going to... a little mess up there, but it's Vegas. So I'm gonna say who is living their best week. I'm gonna have to say it's got to be WWE because SmackDown, especially SmackDown's living their best week. So SmackDown, you're living your best week because you have the main event for tonight. You have War Games, OG Bloodline, New Bloodline. It's going down. And when we come back, it's going down. Mott Sports West, what you watching, and a little bit of travel.